Alright guys, so welcome back to another video. So today I want to discuss the Hackmotion. I want to go over some of the new features that they have in addition to the flexion and extension. That is what most people are looking at right now. They just added a new section where actually they can measure the pronation and supination of your forearm and the speed of that, and also they have timing now. So basically the Hackmotion is able to measure the timing of your swing. So it will tell you how many seconds your backswing took, how many seconds your downswing took, and it will give you a ratio for that. So basically now with the Hackmotion, you don't have to guess anymore. You can get into your address position. For instance, I have a par 4 here. I know that lately I've been working with ulnar deviation, so I can set up myself with more ulnar deviation here, and I can literally see it there. I can see that I have close to 1 and 2 extension and -20 ulnar deviation, and then I can take my shot. I can take my shot and experiment with these numbers right here. So I can experiment something that before you couldn't do. This one went a little bit to the right, but it was good distance, and it was actually address of -19 ulnar. I think the problem that I see here is that there was a little bit too much, there was a little flexion in my address position. So what I can do, I can just correct that. I can try to play around with it until I get it right. So then a little less ulnar, so I can do a little less ulnar here in my setup position, like that. So we have just a little less ulnar, a little more extension. And then I can play around with that. This went straighter than the other one. And at address I had a little extension, and my ulnar deviation was -18. For me, it works better when I have more ulnar, but it's going to be different for everybody. What I've been doing, I've been trying to kind of like limit my numbers, so try to stay at a close range. Meaning, like if you look at this graph right here, on the first column here, if I look at the address position for these 7 shots that I took, I go from 27, from 25, 27, 27, 23, 26. So you can see there that basically I have a range from 23. I go from 23 to 27, so a range of about 4 or 5 there. And I think the problem will be if I see my address position being something completely off. In this case, it would be like if I have like a 35 or 45 at address position extension. And the same for the top of my backswing. I look at it and I see that I have 24, 25, 20, 24. So if I look at this, I see that the top of my backswing is a little more constant, more consistent than my address position. So I look at that, and then I also look at the impact, and then I want to keep those numbers close. Now remember that when you're doing this, you can like start with maybe an 8 iron and then take like a 5 iron the next day and try to, it's going to change for every single club that you have. So be careful when you do that. I would name it. And the same for ulnar deviation and radial deviation. If you look at this column here, I go from -34 to 30 to the most of 36. So I'm pretty happy with that. I've been working a lot with ulnar deviation. And then at the top I do radial, and if you can see that my numbers are very consistent, I would say. And then when I go to impact, the same. I think the difference before is that you don't really have, you're not certain what's going on. You could be, you work with feelings, but you just have that. You don't really know if that feeling of having this ulnar deviation is exactly what you think it is. With the Hackmotion, you can actually, you literally can see it. So you can see if you add more ulnar, you know exactly if you're doing too much, if you're doing too little. You can also see if you have flexion. See if I do flexion or extension. Try to see which one works better. With a driver, I can work a little more. If I want more extension with a driver, then I have to go a little bit more like this way, break it like this, If I want more ulnar, then I have to go more like that. And then experiment with it. You can actually see it. Once you find one that is consistent for you, then you know that that's what you have to do. And then next time you go to the course, you know that you have to do that movement there. And the difference between that and before is that before it was just a feeling. You could say like, oh, I had the feeling of putting my wrist a little bit like this. I did something like that. I'm not sure what I did, but I hit some great shots. Now you know, because now you have the Hackmotion. You know exactly what you did. You put more ulnar deviation, you put more radial, you put more extension, more flexion. As you can see there's many uses with the Hackmotion. You can definitely work on your setup position. You can work with those angles, experiment with it. You know, you can, if you like to use flexion, or if you believe that flexion is good for you, try it out. It may be good for you. For me, flexion doesn't work, and it's proven by the shots there. You know, I'd rather do ulnar deviation, and ulnar deviation takes me a little bit to flexion, but it's just I feel like more control with that. So that's how you can use the Hackmotion, guys. You can utilize all the information, and you can use it to your advantage. You can just take notes, and rather than copying like a professional golfer, just look at your own swing and try to narrow those numbers and have the same setup position every single time. And that's going to help you far more than having to replicate other people's swing. I think that's not going to work. You have to find your own way. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to do so. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time.